First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakwadash, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai the name of His only begotten Son. Double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone and Roll Well. Peace and blessing salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Alright, this is a video that I saw a brother do a commentary on GMS Dallas in Class 3. And I'm going to do this lesson. I'm going to play the whole video. Alright, and I think the volume will be alright, but I just want to tell you, you may have to turn it up, to hear the video. Alright, but when the video is over, turn your volume down, because when I speak, I don't know if it'll be really loud or not. But I'm just saying, just beware of that, just in case. But anyways, I'm gonna play this video, and this is a story, okay? And it said the title is "How It Will Go Down: The Most Terrifying Story You Need to Hear." All right, and it's regarding basically like an economic type of collapse scenario. And this is going to become reality, okay? It's a very good video to watch to get a vivid visualization of what's about to go down, all right? And truth be told, what's about to go down is going to be way worse, okay? Because we know that, based off the scriptures, we know that we're coming into the worst time to ever come upon the planet, okay? That Yahweh created, all right? And so I'm going to play this video. It is 22 minutes, 49 seconds long, but I'm not going to play the whole video because I think there's I'm going to play the whole story, which is about probably like 20-something minutes long, but I'm pretty sure once it gets to that ad, that's where I'm going to turn off, I think, because that's when the story is over, but then he starts talking about some more stuff. But I'm going to play it. I'm going to play it all the way through. Because instead of telling you to watch it, I'm going to play it now because I want to listen to it again myself even. Maybe I'll pick up something that I didn't hear before. But here, let's get right into it.
The following story is based on true events that have happened in the past, are happening right now all over the world, and will happen to you soon. While the story is terrifying, know that each of these disasters could have been prevented. This is how it will go down for most people, but it doesn't have to go down this way for you. In part 2, I will tell this story of what this family could have done to prevent all of these terrible things from happening. Let's say you are the perfect family living the American dream. Dad is an electrical engineer with a 6-figure salary. Mom is a nursing assistant, and they have 3 kids, 2 girls, 15 and 12, and a boy, 7. They have a cat named Fluffy and a dog named Betsy. They live in a nice home in a nice neighborhood, and the value of their home is well above the mortgage they have on it. They have health insurance and 2 pension funds they contribute to. They also own a BMW, a minivan, a motorcycle, and a small powerboat in the garage. Week 1. One day, Mom drives to the local mall to pick up some groceries. The first thing she notices is that a quarter of the stores in the mall have shut down. When she starts shopping at the grocery store, she is shocked to see the price of a loaf of bread has gone from $2 to $5. Milk went from $3 a quart to $7.50 a quart, and ground hamburger went from $3 a pound to $9. All in all, her weekly grocery bill has more than doubled from last week. At dinner that night, Mom tells Dad about the rising cost of food, but Dad has some worrying news too. The company he works for is planning to lay off 20% of the workforce. Not to worry, Dad has seniority, and he won't be one of the employees that will lose their job. They turn on the TV, and the nightly news tells them that The stock market is booming, but due to trade tariffs, the cost of living may go up by 3%. The next day, Dad gets the utility bill, and his jaw drops when he sees the monthly electrical bill has gone from $300 a month to $1,200. On the way to work, he stops at the gas station to fill up and is again shocked to see the cost of a gallon of gas has gone from $5 per gallon to $15 per gallon. It costs $400 just to fill up the tank. That night, Dad does a budget and realizes that their monthly expenses now exceed their income. They need to tighten the belt, and so the first thing to go is the eldest daughter's music lessons, then middle daughter's dance lessons, and also Junior's karate lessons. Dad cancels his membership at the tennis club, and Mom cancels her membership at the Pilates studio. Also, no eating lunch at the cafe, and no more coffees from Starbucks. To save on the electric and gas bills, they need to keep most of the lights turned off and the heat turned down. Everyone will need to wear a sweater in the house. Also, Mom and Dad will have to carpool to save on gas. Dad will drop Mom off at work and pick her up after he gets off work. The next day, Dad learns that the company plans to lay off another 30% of the workforce. Everyone at the office is tense and nervous. Dad still has seniority, but just to be on the safe side, he starts to send out his resume. What Dad doesn't know is that there are 50,000 other electrical engineers also sending out their resumes, and most would work for a lot less money than Dad is currently earning. Week 2. The next week, Mom goes to buy the groceries, but discovers that the mall is closed. She drives through town looking for a grocery store that's still in business, passing storefront after storefront that have been closed down, with plywood over the windows and for lease signs everywhere. She finally finds a store still open and goes inside. Half the shelves are empty, and bread now goes for $25 per loaf and milk at $50 a quart. Mom can barely afford a quarter pound of ground hamburger and a half a dozen packs of instant noodles. Mom also buys a couple of cans of cat food, figuring if she mixes it in with the noodles, no one will notice. At least it will be enough to feed the family for a few days. When she exits the store, she is confronted by dozens of women and children begging for food. Mom rushes past the beggars with her small supply of groceries and notices groups of men lurking in the parking lot. Mom ducks down between the cars and carefully makes her way back to her car, gets in and speeds away with men running down the road after her. That night, there is a banging on the front door. It's their neighbor Bob from 3 doors down. He's begging for food. He tells them he's been let off and his family hasn't eaten in 3 days. He's wild-eyed and desperate. Mom scoops a bowl full of noodles and cat food into a baggie and gives it to him. "That's all we can spare, I'm sorry," she says. Later that night, they hear a gunshot. Bob has committed suicide. Dad decides they need to sell the motorcycle, the boat, and the extra car, but everyone is selling, and no one has money to buy. He sells the $15,000 motorcycle for $200. The car fetches $250, and no one wants the boat. Not enough money to even buy a week's worth of food. The only thing that still has some value is gold and silver. They go through Mom's jewelry case to find anything with gold or silver in it. Mom hands Dad her engagement and wedding rings. Dad decides they also need to cash in their retirement plans. The jewelry and retirement funds should last them 2 months. Week 3. That Monday, Mom finds out she's been let go. The hospital where she worked can no longer afford to keep such a large staff on hand. Mom waits in the hospital cafeteria that no longer serves food all day for her husband to come and pick her up. The next day, Dad arrives at work to find his co-workers gathered outside the front doors that had been locked with a sign in the window that simply said, "Out of business." No one was even allowed in to clean out their desks. There will be no severance pay and no pension. That night, Dad calls all his friends, business associates, college alumni, and even high school friends he hadn't seen in 20 years, asking for help finding work. Dad never received even one response from the 300 resumes he'd sent out. But the story is always the same. Everyone is being laid off, and no one is hiring. But one person told Dad if he goes to the closed-down mall and waits in the parking lot, there's a chance he'll be hired as a day laborer, doing construction or yard work. Dad left the house at 4 a.m. to walk the 6 miles to the mall, where he milled about with 80 other men until 10 at night. He did that every day for a week, but no one came around to offer any work, and Dad didn't go back. That night, there was the sound of breaking glass and yelling coming from down the street. The sky in the distance lit up from the fires started in some of the abandoned houses. There were no longer any emergency sirens. The police, ambulance, and fire departments were not responding to 911 calls. The next morning, Dad gets some tools and lumber from the garage and boards up all the ground floor windows. He goes in the attic and retrieves Great-Grandpa's 1911 Colt 45 that he had brought back from the war. There were 6 bullets in the box, and Dad loaded them in the magazine. Mail was no longer being delivered to homes, and Mom had to bicycle 5 miles to the post office once a week to pick up the mail. There was a letter from the township announcing that property taxes had been quadrupled and made retroactive, and that they now owed $9,000 in back taxes. The electric bill had doubled again. Instead of having 2 months' worth of money to pay expenses, they were now 6 months behind. There was nothing left to do but to sell the house. Dad called a real estate agent he met at the Lions Club, but the number was out of service. He called another 10 brokers listed in the yellow pages until he found one that answered the phone. She told Dad that they would no longer represent sellers. Everyone was selling, and no one was buying. She entered his address into the computer and told him the average selling price for homes in his area. It was less than half their modest mortgage. Even if they could find a buyer, they would still owe money. The real estate agent confided that Dad's best option was to stop paying all bills and live in the home and save as much money as they can until they are evicted. Week 4. The next day the power was cut, so were the gas and the phones. It was fortunate they had a fireplace in the den, and so they brought down their mattresses and blankets, and everyone slept in the den. Dad would stay up late to feed the fire, so they wouldn't all wake up freezing at 4 in the morning. There was no money to buy pet food for Fluffy and Betsy, and both were looking thin. Although an indoor cat, Mom let Fluffy out in the hopes that her instincts would return and she could hunt for herself. Fluffy never came back. One night, the middle daughter developed a chronic cough. Mom's nursing experience told her she was suffering from respiratory bacterial infection. She needed antibiotics, but they would need to visit a clinic first. Thank God they still had health insurance. Dad siphoned the gas from the boat's tank and hoped it would be enough to drive their daughter to the nearest hospital. The hospital was packed. They had to park a mile away, and when they arrived at emergency, there were 200 people there, yelling and screaming at the dozen heavily armed security guards that surrounded the admissions desk. They waited 14 hours to reach reception. They were then told that their health insurance company had increased the deductible to $10,000 and that a doctor's consultation would cost $6,000 cash in advance. No amount of begging and pleading would get their daughter admitted without the upfront payment. When they got home, Mom bundled middle daughter up in blankets and lit the fire to keep her warm. Mom used every home remedy she could think of to treat her daughter, but while the symptoms eased a little, she wasn't getting any better either. The next day, eldest daughter announced she was leaving to work at the seedy strip club outside of town. A girlfriend told her that she could earn $2,000 a week, and if she were to take on a few clients, even more. And because the roads were so dangerous, she would stay in one of the rooms at the club and be back in 3 weeks with the money to get little sister the medical help she needs. Dad said absolutely not. He would not sell his 15-year-old daughter into prostitution. But after much arguing and tears, Mom and daughter convinced Dad that there really was no other way. That eldest daughter was going to save her sister's life and save the family, and that everyone must sacrifice in order to survive. Week 5. A week after eldest daughter left, Dad walked down the street going door to door to see if any of his neighbors still had phone service. The once tidy and quaint neighborhood looked like a war zone. More than half the homes had been abandoned, each with a large pile of garbage and discarded furniture in the front yard. Several had been burnt down. When he knocked on the doors of those houses that didn't look abandoned, no one answered. Several times he heard movement inside, but no one answered the door. Finally, he found a home that answered the door, shotgun in hand. It was Jeff, one of the fathers he would see at his daughter's dance recitals. Jeff still had a functional landline that he allowed Dad to use. Dad first called the Striporama and asked to speak to his daughter. The woman who answered told Dad that she no longer worked there, that she left with her boyfriend and no one knows where they went. That's all Dad could find out. But he knew eldest daughter would never leave the family. A sickening realization sunk in that she was probably trafficked into the sex slave trade. There would be no way to find her. Dad next called his uncle, who had a big house outside of town and whom he hoped would allow him and his family to move in with him. But there was no answer. Finally, Dad called a government information helpline where a recorded message informed callers that until further notice, all government services were suspended, that a homeless area had been designated underneath the highway overpass, and that emergency food supplies will be distributed every Thursday. That night, middle daughter passed away from her illness. The next morning, Dad walked back to the neighbor to again use the phone to call an ambulance, but there was only a recording stating that emergency services had been suspended. Dad called hospitals and funeral homes, but there was no answer. When he arrived home, there was an eviction notice on the front door. Mom was found rocking back and forth, with her remaining child held in her arms. She was silent, her face frozen in despair. Dad buried middle daughter in the backyard. Then he loaded the minivan with clothes, blankets, and sleeping bags, some camping supplies, and what little food they had left. Dad picked up Mom and carried her to the van, with the little boy following behind. Dad told Mom that they had to be strong and survive. They still had a young son to take care of, and that eldest daughter will be okay and find her way back to them soon. But Mom said nothing and continued to stare out the window. Dad stapled a note on the front door in case his eldest daughter came home, saying, "We have gone to the overpass homeless camp. Look for our van. Love, Dad." Before they left, Dad found Betsy the dog, dead, curled up on her favorite blanket in the kitchen near her empty food bowl. He buried her next to his daughter. They drove to the designated homeless area where there were hundreds of cars, campers, trucks, and tents under the overpass. They slowly drove along the overpass looking for a spot to park, passing dozens of open fires surrounded by people huddling for warmth. Dad cooked some instant noodles on the propane stove and put on a brave face for Mom and his son, and told them so long as they stick together as a family, everything will be all right. Mom didn't reply and continued to stare into the distance. Dad was also worried for his son, since he had become increasingly afraid and had developed a tremor, and often burst into tears and would cry for hours, and Dad's efforts to comfort him were in vain. Week 6. 3 days later, the emergency food truck arrived, and Dad was disappointed to discover that his ration pack consisted of 3 packs of instant noodles and 3 hot dogs. As he walked back to the van, he could smell barbecued meat coming from several of the campfires. When he went to find out where the meat came from, he was told it was the family dog, or cat, or a pigeon someone had caught. Dad cooked up the noodles and put all 3 hot dogs in the pot, since they hadn't eaten in 2 days. Then he took his Colt 45 and headed into the nearby ravine, determined to shoot a raccoon or a squirrel or maybe a goose. Dad walked through the ravine until dusk without even seeing an animal of any kind. Dad was determined to go out again the next day and find something to kill. When he returned to the van, he discovered that men had come while he was gone and stole his camping equipment and sleeping bags. His son was curled up in a fetal position, hiding under the van. Mom was sitting in the front seat, staring out the window. That night, they put on all the clothes they had and huddled together for warmth in the van. Mom and Dad could not sleep because of the fear, anxiety, and hunger they felt. In the early morning, a gang of armed men came to rob the homeless camp of anything of value. Some of the homeless had firearms and fired shots to defend themselves, but the gang was heavily armed and sprayed the camp indiscriminately with gunfire, killing dozens of people. A stray bullet pierced the side of the van and went through the young boy and Mom, killing both instantly. Clutching the bodies of his wife and son close to him, Dad watched the son come up, and then went to bury his family in the ravine. After he was done, he put the barrel of his Colt 45 to his temple, and his last words, before pulling the trigger, was, "I am so sorry."
I finally figured out.
Alright, so that was the story, and that is still heavy, man. It's still so heavy. Alright, once again, if you want to watch it again, the name of it is How It Will Go Down, the Most Terrifying Story You Need to Hear. And it's from the channel Stefan Verstappen, if I pronounce that correctly. Alright. And this is just reality, okay? Which that's what the description says as well. This story is based on events that have happened in the past, are happening now, and will happen to you soon. All right. So let's get into some scriptures, because after all, that's the most important part of the video. All right, we're going to start in Jeremiah 30:7. This is Jeremiah 30:7. Excuse me, Salakia. All right. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, and who is that? That's going to be saved. The elect. All right, the elect are going to be delivered. The elect are going to have food, and then water, and they're going to be taken care of. Maybe not every day they're going to have food and water, but they are going to be taken care of. Because Yahweh Shai are going to take care of them. All right? But this is going into Jacob's trouble, which is what Jacob's trouble means is it's a time, and this time is specifically made to destroy 2/3 of our nation, okay, for their continual wickedness and non-compliance, refusing to repent. Okay, they don't want to get right, so they have to perish. Or on this side, they have to be taught a lesson, but they'll be back in the kingdom. But on this side, they have to die. Okay, and that type of scenario is Jacob's trouble. Okay, and not only that, but also martial law, FEMA camps, the RFID chip being mandatory. Well, they did show you pestilence to an extent. They showed you, the inflation is going to trigger famines, and the truckers are going to go on strike. So we know these things are coming, and we're blowing the trumpet for you to hearken unto the words of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Alright, and the truth is, a lot of people just don't believe in Yahweh, man. They believe in some false god, or they don't believe in God at all. And our job is not to prove to you that Yahweh exists. Our job is to teach you His word, and whether you hearken or not, that's not our issue. Okay, that's yours, because it's your own salvation that you're missing out on if you don't. All right. In fact, let me get that real quick. All right, because my opinion, your opinion, nobody's opinion matters. What matters is the words of Yahweh Yahweh Shai. All right, and the only proof that I need is to show, the only proof that you need to see is the scriptures. Have faith, believe in the scriptures. All right, because if you have faith and you're looking at things with a spiritual eye, you're seeing that these things are happening, that these things are coming to pass, that the prophecies are speaking. Okay, and when you see Yahweh's son, Yahweh Shai, crack those clouds, you're not going to really be thinking about, these other vain ideologies. Okay, and like I said, I don't claim to be smart or wise. I don't claim to know everything or even close to that. All right, but I understand through faith that this is the truth that I have been brought to, and T.R.O.Y Yahweh Shai for that. All glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Shai. Right, and you are given an opportunity right now to repent and to better yourself. Okay, but this is only for the elect, which the elect are from the nation of Israel. But what I was going to get was Ezekiel, I think it was Ezekiel 3, or was it 2? 2. This is Ezekiel 2:1. I'm going to start at verse 1. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet, and I heard him that spake unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me even unto this very day, for they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. So that's our job. Our job is to tell you the words of Yahweh. That's it. If you don't believe them, or you don't want to believe them, or you're trying to get on to prove this, prove that, we don't have to prove anything to you. Okay? Because the just shall live by faith. The elect are going to understand, and they're going to hearken. Okay? And that's the only people we're for, is for the lost sheep. We're not here for everybody. All right? We're not here for even our whole nation. Okay? We're only here for the people that are meant to understand it. You see? So I'm telling you that these religions and these ideologies, atheism, which that goes hand in hand with evolution and the Big Bang Theory, and also religions like Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, Islam, Buddhism. It's all false. Okay, it's all false. All right, and I'm not forcing anybody to believe anything. If you watch our videos, you'll know that we're not forcing anybody to believe anything. Okay, we're not putting a gun to your head saying you have to believe this, because then you're not really believing it. Okay, you don't really believe in it then. We're just teaching the word, and we know that the elect will hear it, and it will click with them, and they'll understand, and they'll believe. All right, and the elect have been waking up. You better believe the elect have been waking up, which is why Yahweh is having time speed up and having these prophecies come to pass quicker, because the elect are almost sealed, and once the elect are sealed, hell is going to break loose. All right, or soon after. Verse 6, and thou, son of man, I didn't finish this. Yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. Let me start over. Verse 5, and they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, so whether they regard it or whether they disregard it, for they are a rebellious house. Our people are known for rebelling against Yahweh. All right, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be a rebellious house. And thou shalt and thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious. All right, so that is simply our job. Our job is to teach this word. Okay, our job isn't to prove anything to anybody. Okay, if you don't want to believe that this stuff is coming, if you want to be in denial that Yahweh exists, then that's your problem. That's not my problem. That's not any brother's problem. That's your problem. Okay, and that's your situation that you need to get figured out. It really is, because we're working out our own salvation. All right, we're blowing the trumpet. Whether you hearken or not, that's not our issue. We did our part. Okay, and that's scriptural too. That's scriptural. Let me get it. It's also in Ezekiel. If I can find the chapter. Ezekiel 33, I'm going to start at verse 1. Again, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, speak to the children of thy people, and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon a land, if the people of the land take a man of their coast, and set him for their watchman, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. Slakia. Verse 4, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet, and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his head. All right, and spiritually, we're watchmen. Okay, so if you don't want to listen, you don't want to hearken, this and that, that's your problem. Okay, we can't hold your hand to come into this thing, and this isn't anything personal. I don't think we're throwing shots at people. We're rebuking you. We're trying to save you, not like literally save you, because we can't save you. Yahweh's saving you through his son Yahweh Shai. Okay, we're not saving you, but what I mean by that is we're trying to help you. Yahweh is using us to have you receive that spiritual mark, the mark exempt from judgment. Yahweh is using us to teach you the truth, and you just want to stay in denial. So, that's not our fault. We understand that people aren't gonna, hearken. We understand that. Okay. I mean, it still doesn't take away the fact that it's very vexing. But we're not here to convince anybody to come into this thing. We're just simply teaching the words. And whether you believe it or not, that's not our problem. Okay, we don't have to prove to you if Yahweh exists. We don't have to prove to you that, we don't have to prove that the Bible is true, because if you were meant to understand it and see it, you would, or you will, I should say. Verse 4, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and taketh not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. He heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning, his blood shall be upon him, but he that taketh warning shall deliver his soul. Okay, and that's all I'm going to read, because the rest is going into somebody not blowing the trumpet and stuff. That was just the main point. So we're blowing that trumpet and you're not hearkening, so the sword is going to come and sweep you away. Okay? We're just teaching the scriptures, man. We're going off what the scriptures say. We're going off, logic and, And the knowledge that Yahweh Shema Shai has blessed us with, man. That's literally it. Okay, there's no tricks or twists or, snares in this truth of ours, man. Like in terms of like what we're trying to do. We're not trying to take your money. We're not trying to, spread division. We're not trying to get people to join some satanic cult. We're not trying to, round people up to, overthrow the government, like physically, grab guns and start shooting government officials. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're simply just teaching the Bible. Okay? We're teaching the Bible. That's all we're doing. That's all we're offering is the truth. All right? And if you're going to get butthurt and cut and emotional because you can't handle, the fact that the Bible is true, then just get ready for death, because that's what's coming for you straight up. All right? I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. All right? Just get ready for death, because that's the only thing that's coming to you. All right? You're just, like the scripture said, you're going to know that a prophet that had been among you, and they're out on the streets every week. Every week they're out in the streets. They're pushing YouTube videos, and you're not hearkening. So that's your issue. That's your problem. That's your fault. You didn't hold up your end. Okay? But we put our hand out. Well, really, like I said, it's Yahweh, but Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, they're putting their hand out for you to grab it, to lift you up in the spirit, and you're not grabbing their hand. They're not going to grab your hand and force you up. You're going to have to meet them halfway. They're giving you the word. We're delivering their message, and you have to read the message and hearken to it. If you don't, it's not our problem. We deliver the message. We're just the messenger. All right? If you got a problem with what the message is saying, get mad at Yahweh. All right? But I suggest you don't do that, because that is a very bad idea to do. Okay? But like I said, a lot of people don't believe in Yahweh. There's people that don't believe in God at all, and there's people that literally don't believe in the God of the Bible being Yahweh, because that's his name in the ancient Hebrew. And people just believe on false gods, or vanity, basically. Okay, so let's go into these times that are really not even coming but already here. Matthew 24 and 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Okay, so the end is not yet. We understand that we're in the end, and these rumors of wars have been happening for a while. Especially now we see a lot of World War III news. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Now we're going to bookmark this, because we're going to come back to this in a little bit. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Alright, so we're going to be hated. We already are hated. Okay? And we're hated because we speak truth. Just as Yahweh Shai did, he said, like he says, a servant isn't greater than the master. So we're hated. And people are going to deliver us up, even people that we thought were with us. Even your closest friend or some, they could turn you in. Family members. Well, so-called family members. Verse 10. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. All right, so you guys getting all emotional. You think we're going to regard your emotions now. You're coming all out, from your emotions instead of out of the scriptures. I mean, people in those days aren't going to care at all how you feel. Period. They're just going to be all about themselves. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many. And that's happened. All right. Not just Christianity and Islam and all these religions, but also with even people that know they're Israelites. People that are teaching the mark of the beast is Christianity, or teaching, names other than Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. These are false prophets. Okay. That was just some examples. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So that's going into them not regarding your feelings once again. Okay? People are going to literally be eating each other. All right? Not just their household pet, but literally each other. All right? But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So our job is to endure. And how are we going to endure these times? It seems like it's impossible. But we have Yahweh Yahweh Shai. That's how it's possible. Okay? So now going back to this, verse 8, and it says, all these are the beginning of sorrows. This scripture is actually matching up with the prophet Ezra, he was a prophet, he was a priest, and he was a scribe, what he wrote in 2nd Ezra chapter 16. And I'm going to show you. I'm not going to start the exact verse. I'm actually going to start lower because it's all heavy. I'll start at verse 16. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Alright, and what is that talking about? Because Yahweh, when he sends these plagues, they're going to do what they were sent to do. Okay, his word doesn't go out void. Pretty sure there's a scripture on that, but I'm not sure exactly how it goes. So I'm just going to quickly search it here. Let me just search it on Safari quick. Isaiah 55 and 11. Tawadai Yahweh Yahushai. So it said Isaiah 55 and 11. Let me just re-highlight this. It says, so shall my word, Isaiah 55 and 11, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Okay? Now, going back here to 2nd Ezra 16, it said down here, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again, meaning they're not going to return again, unto Yahweh. They're not going to return void and not accomplish what he sent. They're going to be sent. They're going to do what they're supposed to do. They're going to get the job done. All right, this is 2nd Ezra 16 and 17. And then I'm going to read down. Woe is me, woe is me. Who will deliver me in those days? And this scripture also proves reincarnation, because Ezra was approximately, I want to say, anywhere from 300 to 400 years before Yahushai was born. Okay? And he was a prophet from the Old Testament. This was taken out of the Old Testament. So he's wondering who will deliver me in those days. And he's talking about now. Okay? These times that are very, very, close, which is really just right at the door. And he's asking who's going to deliver him. Why is he worried about that if it's 2,000 plus years away? Because it's reincarnation. Not every Israelite understood that, but a lot of them did. All right, but this is also another major point we can take out of this is he said, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because that's how scary and terrifying they were when he was seeing them. He didn't even know who was going to deliver him. He just forgot for a second, what he was even doing, and he was just terrified. Because, scriptures, many prophets have talked about the day, not just the day, but the days, of Jacob's trouble and judgment in general. And which major judgment is going to come during Jacob's trouble. And they've gotten sick. They've literally gotten sick from the things that they're seeing. But let me just go to Zephaniah 1, because it talks very heavily about it. Because there's people that call us loom and gloom prophets, saying that all we talk about is destruction and death. And that's not true. Okay, that's simply not true. We go into a lot of things, but destruction and death is what's at the door. So it's very vital that we talk about it. And that's what the scriptures tell us to do, is to be occupied in prophecy and to teach about prophecy. Occupied in prophecy. Should be, it should be, as a matter of fact, this Ecclesiastes 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies. Okay? We also can't forget this. The scripture in Revelations. Revelations 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. All right, and this was an angel speaking to John. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. All right, So the spirit of Yahushai, or Salaki, the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. We ought to be in the spirit of prophecy, okay? Keeping our mind in these prophecies and bringing out these prophecies, especially the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, all right, the microchip, or NFC chip, that's the mark of the beast too, but mainly they go under the title RFID chip, okay, the microchip. That is the mark of the beast according to Revelations 13, all right? So going back to Zephaniah 1 and 12, and it shall be, or Salaki, and it shall come to pass at that time that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish the men that are settled on their lees, that say in their heart, Yahweh will not do good, neither will he do evil. Therefore their good shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. Excuse me, Salaki. Now this kind of reminded me of what he was talking about, how people's houses were burned down, or people's houses were, boarded up, and, like the windows were boarded up, and, there's a lot of abandoned houses and stuff like that, right? This, also ties in with Revelation, 2nd Ezra 16 as well, when it goes into, everybody's work being vanity. This is 2nd Ezra 16, and I'm going to start at 39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack that come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buyeth as one that will lose. He that occupieth merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein. He that soweth as if he should not reap, so also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Verse 44, they that marry as they that shall get no children, and they that marry not as the widowers. And therefore they that labor in vain. Okay? They labor in vain. Because all the money that they were saving up and supplies and all that, it's not going to deliver them. Scriptures constantly talk about that, all right? Because they're putting their heart and soul and etc. into vanity, okay? Into a carnal job and into starting a family and this and that. I mean, you can do these things, but you're not supposed to put your heart into that, okay? And it's really not a good idea to try and, start a family, because it shows that you're trying to settle down. You're too comfortable in this place. Okay, now if you got a woman and children or, whatever, you do what you got to do. But this truth is where your spirit should be. This truth is where your mind should be and your heart should be. Okay, meditating in these scriptures. Now, let's go on. Well, actually, Zephaniah 1 even goes into how it's not going to be able to help them. So let me just read on. Therefore their goods shall become a booty, and their houses a desolation. They shall also build houses, but not inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards, but not drink the wine thereof. The great day of Yahweh is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly. Even the voice of the day of Yahweh, the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness, a day of the trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against Yahweh, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung. Verse 18, neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land shall be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land. Okay, so major judgment is coming upon this place, and your gold and silver is not going to be able to help you, let alone a Federal Reserve note. Okay, that is definitely not going to help you. And we can get some more scriptures on this in Proverbs. And get it, Proverbs 11 and 4. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. Okay, so when these things happen, your riches are not going to deliver you. Yahweh is going to deliver you. Okay, through his son Yahweh are going to deliver you. Okay, riches or not, it doesn't matter how much money you have. All right, verse 28. He that trusted in his riches shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish as a branch. Okay, and you see, people basically worship money. Okay, people basically worship money. This is what they do. Okay, this is what they trust in. This is where they put their whole life into money that isn't even backed up by anything. Okay, and that's why they're going to fall. Okay, because they believe that money's going to save them. No, it's not. Yahweh is going to save. Okay? In fact, that reminds me of Judges. Because, like I said, here it is. Judges 10 and 11. Because, like I said, people look at money and they worship it like a god. Okay? People worship science like a god too. And Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, Did not I deliver you from the Egyptians, and from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines? The Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Maonites did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I delivered you out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me, and served other gods. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Okay, so you're saving up on all this money, you're flashing your money, you're worshiping money. When money, when the economy collapses and all these famines come and hyperinflation happens and your money, you ain't got enough of it to buy food, and instead of hearkening to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, Yahweh Yahushai, you chose to trust in money, so cry unto your money. Cry to your dollar bill for salvation, for deliverance. Okay, because you chose not to hearken. You chose to smack Yahweh's hand away when he reached out to you. Alright? And we're supposed to move in fear. Okay, we are supposed to move in fear. Lucky, I'm trying to look for the scripture that talks about Noah moving in fear. Oops, Salaki, I know it. Oh man, I'm gonna have to look that up too. Oh, here we go. Salakia. I had a feeling like I was like it reminds me of the Hebrews 11 going into faith, because it gives a lot of examples of faith, but I just didn't know for sure. So Salakia, here we go. I'm going to read this first verse also. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So can we prove that Yahweh exists? Can we prove that Yahushua exists? No. I mean, technically speaking, we can't. But we believe. Okay, we believe. And that sounds ridiculous to a lot of people, but that's because you're not spiritual. It's because you're looking at everything carnally in a carnal aspect. Okay? Just because we can't break everything down to a single atom, like you atheists try to do, doesn't mean it's not true. Okay? No, we don't have the answers to everything, and no, we can't answer a lot of your questions that are way beyond our intelligence. Okay? And I'm not bringing this out to throw shots at anybody, but we're not on anywhere near the level that Yahweh's on, and we understand that. Okay? But you atheists, you try to get above him, which is your problem, which is why you're going to be destroyed. You try to break down everything. Not everything's meant for you to understand. Okay? Not everything is meant for you to understand. There's a lot of things that are better off, that just don't need to be known. Okay? What you should be trying to do is work out your salvation instead of trying to figure out, all this madness, like questioning, well, if God exists, how was he there? And then don't meditate upon that like so much, just have faith. Okay? And like I was saying, with the atheism thing, what they believe is, and you can bring in all the pseudoscience you want, ultimately what they believe, is they believe there's no God, and they believe that it started with a Big Bang. A lot of them do, and they believe the theory of evolution. I'm telling you, you people, that at one point there was nothing in the universe. There was no stars, there was no energy, there was no matter, there was no oxygen, there was no elements, there was nothing. That's what I mean by that. And that's what everybody acknowledges, that at one point there was. Because you cannot explain that matter and energy were just there. Because you say that we're ridiculous because we say God was just there, but you believe matter and energy were just there? That's hypocritical. Okay? We can't explain how God was there or how he got there, or we can't explain that because that's beyond our understanding. Okay? But Yahweh is the missing puzzle piece, so to speak, of your atheism belief. Yahweh is the one that created that matter and energy, because it can't just form out of nowhere. Yahweh didn't form out of nowhere. He was always there, and I know that we can't break that down. Okay? And if you said matter and energy were always there, could I disprove you? No, I couldn't. Absolutely not. But I'm saying that it just doesn't, it's just completely different. It really is. It really did. I don't know how to describe it, but I mean, God being there and being there the whole time, because he was never born and he never dies. He's just an infinite spirit. That is way more believable, or it should be at least, than matter and energy just being there, because I'm sure scientists don't even believe that. All right? And they honestly probably don't really give a shit, about any of that. They're just, living money and truth be told, a lot of these high up scientists, they probably worship Satan anyways. So they're just getting paid to deceive you. But, if I sound like a hypocrite with that statement, you're just looking at it way too carnally, man. Because truth is, I mean, we can't talk, we can't answer the things that we don't understand. We can't. So, but I'm just telling you that you believe, you don't believe in magic, or ridiculous questions or anything, but you think that, energy and matter can just be there already. It's, it's really hypocritical that you say that, but we all have hypocritical moments, and I'm not, I'm not saying that you're stupid if you believe in atheism. I'm saying that you're you need to come out of that, because the ideology is stupid, not you. Okay, I'm not saying you're stupid. Now, if you're being arrogant, arrogancy and ignorance can make you stupid, or make you, not necessarily make you literally stupid, but, cause you to do stupid things and to continue in a stupid ideology, all right, which makes you basically a fool, or you're likening yourself to one. I'm not, making these videos to tear you limb from limb. I'm making these videos because, we're trying to help you, man. And you people can't see that, all right? You Israelites, I mean, yeah, we rebuke you and this and that, but we're not out here teaching just simply to tear you down, to make you, just like break down and cry. We're out here to, I mean, we don't care if you do cry, man, all right? Because the truth is the truth. We're just out here speaking the words, You people get so offended by the truth. We're trying to help you, man. We're trying to help you. And if we have to disprove your madness, or if we have to bring out scriptures, or if we have to, say something that offends you, then so be it. Okay? But the bottom line is, the truth is truth. We're not going to sugarcoat anything, all right? Atheism is madness. Christianity is not scriptural, all right? And that's really just as retarded, to an extent at least. Christianity is madness. It's worship of Serapis. Okay, all these religions, everything except the correct path, everything except Yahweh Shema Shai, like in the truth, is madness. Okay, whether it be atheism or any religion, and any religion also, it's just madness. Okay? If it doesn't follow the scriptures, then it's just folly, it's vanity, and it's not what you should be doing. We make these videos to wake up the sheep. All right? We don't care if you get pressed or offended or anything. We don't care, but our goal, because it's a spiritual war, man, and you're into madness, so if you're on the enemy side, then you're an enemy to us, and we're going to do that to you. But I'm saying that's not our ultimate goal. Our goal isn't to rip you apart and You know, we're trying to bring you out of darkness and bring you into light. Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai is using us to try and bring you into the light, and you're rejecting it. So you're going to be destroyed. We're doing this out of love, man. Our people get so offended and so, so worked up because, I'm talking about our people. Our people get so offended and emotional, like we're trying to help you, and you just can't see it. All right, and Yahweh Shai said himself that if you're not gathering, then you're scattering. All right, so you're an enemy to us. And if you want to be an enemy and you want to remain on the enemy side, then we're going to have to treat you like an enemy. Straight up. Okay? That's straight up. Like, seriously. But we don't come out here, thinking, well, I want to, cut up some person through the spirit. We don't necessarily do. That's not that. I mean, if brothers think like that, then all right. But your goal above that should be, I want to wake up some of my people. I want to bring some of my people into the light. I want Yahweh to use me to bring some people into the light. That's what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing. We teach about prophecy, we teach about destruction, and we rebuke you and all this and that, and we tell you that you're going to die because you're going off, and you're going to be destroyed gruesomely and this and that, because it's truth. Okay, because you're refusing to come back to your power, which is Yahweh and His Son, which is our Messiah, Yahweh Shai, which is making you want to remain an enemy. You don't want to join our side. You don't want to join, which really it's your side. You betrayed us. Well, we all did. We all betrayed Yahweh Shai. But we came back. We repented. We're bettering ourselves. We're working with Yahweh Shai. We're on their team. We're trying to bring you back into the team. But you don't want to. You want to stay on Esau's side, which makes you an enemy. Okay? So yeah, we rebuke you, but that's out of love. And we tell you that you're going to die, because that's truth. Okay? But we don't come out here just hoping that, well, I want to tell a bunch of people that they're going to die. That's not what we come out here to give you the truth, man. We want to wake you up. Okay? But if you don't want to hearken to the truth, then fuck you, man. All right? Then you're an enemy and you deserve to die. But it's all Yahweh's will, ultimately what happens to you. We're not, if we're on the streets teaching, we're not going to just pull out a knife and stab you or some shit like that. We're not carnal, man. But we're telling you that you're going to die if you don't hearken. We're trying to bring you to the light. That's all we're trying to do. Okay? That's all we're trying to do. I mean, because we get so vexed by scoffers, but when we see somebody wake up, at least me personally, I was vexed by scoffers, today and yesterday technically, and one brother, or a couple, they actually hearkened to an extent, and that brought that put a smile on my face for a couple minutes, because I was like, that's a relief, because we come out here to wake you up. We come out here to bring the elect together, man, because we know our whole people ain't gonna get it, but our ultimate goal is to bring the sheep back. That one sheep that left the 99, we want to bring that sheep back. That's our goal, okay? That's our goal. Like, seriously, I mean, you people think we're such a hateful group. We're bringing out the truth. We're just reading the Bible. And I'm talking about our people. We think that our people think that we like literally just hate them, like their spirit, for no reason. We hate you because you're wicked, because you don't want to better yourself. That's why we hate you. We're really it's a righteous hatred, but we're not going to hate you forever, because in the kingdom you're going to get it, and then we're going to love you. All right? Because we love our people. Our people think that we hate, our people. We don't. All right? We're out here because this is our job. This is what we are ordained to do. But you think Jeremiah, like he wanted people to hearken. He wanted people to listen and repent so they wouldn't get destroyed. We're going to tell you straight up, though, if you're going off, you're going to die if you don't repent. Judgment's going to come upon you. You're going to be destroyed, and you deserve it. Okay? You deserve it because you don't, and we all deserve death, but you're not repenting, so you deserve it. Okay? But we don't, like I said, we don't come out just hoping that nobody listens. We want people to wake up. We want the elect to wake up. We want to bring you into salvation so you can get, beamed up on that first go around. You get what I mean? We don't hate you. We don't go out thinking, well, I want to, just constantly scream at Israelites and stuff. Ain't no brother thinking like that. They may have moments where they have no problem with telling people they're gonna die, because that's rebuke. Okay, telling somebody that telling people they're going off and they're gonna die and their iniquity, that's rebuke. Because if they were really, if Yahweh was dealing with them, they'd be like, he's right. I need to stop doing this, and then they hearken. And if what I said doesn't make sense, then so be it. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna spiritually, defeat you and kill you spiritually. Spiritually, not physically. Right now, it's all spiritual now. So we're going to tear apart your religions and your false ideologies, and we're going to bring out the scriptures and cut you with them. But that's rebuke, all right? We're doing that because we want you to hear and to hearken. Because I know for sure that brothers love seeing somebody wake up more than they love condemning somebody for death. I know that. And if they don't feel that way, then I don't know. I feel that way. I would much rather wake up a brother than condemn somebody to death. But we understand that 2/3 of our people aren't going to hearken, which is why they have to die. And we see them committing iniquity over and over again, abusing grace and completely disrespecting Yahweh Yahushai. So you're an enemy, so we hate you. Okay? And it's going to make sense to those who have ears to hear, who were given ears, okay? Not literally ears, okay? Understanding. So this is Hebrews 11:6. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. All right, nobody listened to him. People probably thought Noah was mad, man. They probably thought he was crazy until they started seeing that rain, until it started flooding. And then they're like, he was right, and it was too late. And that's the same thing now. Okay? So yeah, we'll cut you. Yeah, you're our enemy because you're being wicked. So yeah, we hate you, and we're gonna tear you. Well, not like literally tear you down, but I mean like tear you down spiritually, if you're our enemy. But that's only if you're our enemy. We're rebuking you because we love you, and that rebuke is going to go one of two ways. Either that rebuke is going to make you condemned to death, or you're going to hearken and you're going to be delivered. All right, if you endure, we hate you because you're on the opposing team. You're a traitor. Okay? You're a traitor. That's why we hate you. So yeah, we're going to cut you because we're going to treat you like an enemy. If you want to be on the enemy team, we're going to treat you like an enemy. But when we go out there, our goal isn't to I don't even know how to word it. Our goal is to wake up the elect. Okay? And if that's not you, then you're our enemy. And if you're our enemy, then you're going to be treated that way, and you're going to be, destroyed spiritually and then eventually physically when Yahweh brings judgment. But like I said, we don't go out there just hoping to condemn a bunch of people to death, like we don't love that. I don't even know how to word it, okay? I really don't. Because we love our job, man. We're a prophet, but it's not like we live, like we just absolutely aspire to go out and tell you that you're going to die. We just love the truth, and that's the truth. Okay? That's the truth. But we don't aspire and just think, man, I want to go out there and tell Jake that he's going to be destroyed and he's going to die a terrible death. We don't want to. That's not our goal. Our goal is to go out and teach somebody, and they're going to hearken. That's going to bring joy to us, man. Like the angels rejoice when a wicked person repents. But we got to do what we got to do. So if you're going to refuse to accept the truth, and you're going to be wicked, or you're going to buck up against us or be a scorner or a scoffer, then we're going to treat you like an enemy, like a heathen, because that's what you are acting like. That's what you're likening yourself onto physically. You see? If that makes more sense. So, bottom line is, major judgment's coming. Okay? And this major judgment is not going to stop. It's not going to tarry. It's going to come when Yahweh wants it to. Okay? So you need to hearken. Okay? You need to hearken, or if you don't want to hearken, you want to be an enemy, then fuck you. Okay? You're going to be destroyed, and we hate you. Okay? Because you're our enemy, because you are a traitor, because you don't want to get right. All right? You don't want to please Yahweh Shema Shai. You want to rebel. All right? And you're going to be destroyed for that. But like I said, we don't just aspire to go out and say, well, I want to condemn a bunch of people to death. You know, I want to scream in a bunch of people's faces that they're going to be, you know, thrown in a FEMA camp and tortured. That's not what we wake up and aspire to do. We wake up to teach the truth and to wake up the elect, to wake up the sheep, to bring the sheep back into the fold. That's what we're here to do. You know, which we condemn people, but I'm saying that's not like, we don't get off on that, you know? We don't get off on that. But we got to do what we got to do. Okay? And we're not sugarcoating it for nobody, man. We're showing you love by rebuking you. But like I said, if you're going to be a traitor to us, you don't want to hearken, then you're an enemy and you're going to be treated as such. Okay? That simple. Okay? It's that simple. But when we go out in the highways and byways and when we make YouTube videos, we don't make these videos just so people can, you know, get all butthurt and mad and all that. And that may be a reason, you know, we do go out and stuff to condemn people and stuff like that, but I'm saying that's not the main thing we're going out there for. That's not what we absolutely love about this truth. We love waking people up. You know, we want to help people. Our people, the elect. We want to wake our people up. That's why we do this. Okay, this is our job. You know, do you honestly think that the prophets went out there and absolutely hoped that their people just got destroyed, like, and like they did? Do you think, let me rephrase this. Do you think that prophets went out there and said, or not said, but hoped in their mind that their people didn't repent and just got destroyed? No. Okay, no, they went out there and they hoped that their people repented so they wouldn't get destroyed. That's why they're sent out there, to bring the people that want to be serious, that want to repent, that want to get right, to bring them into the fold to be safe from that destruction. Okay, and that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing. We're not hoping in our mind that you remain in wickedness. But if you choose to remain wicked, then we want you to be destroyed because you don't want to listen. You don't want to hearken. You're stiff-necked. Okay, so Lord willing, that makes more sense. I feel like I cleared up with that. But, you know, there's a balance to this thing. So people are going to be condemned. People are going to wake up. Oh, excuse me, Salakia. So with that said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom.